Welcome to the Daily Word, verse by verse. Grab your Bibles and follow along as we continue in our study through the Gospel of John. Keep in mind, I'm using the Holman Christian Standard Bible, so if you're using a different translation, the read is different, but the message is the same. We're going to pick up our study in chapter 16. And remember, Jesus is in this heart-to-heart conversation. He's pouring out his heart to his disciples. In just a few hours, he is going to be arrested. And so things are rapidly changing. The disciples are beginning to realize that. They're sensing that this change is going to be traumatic. And Jesus is preparing them for that. Now, he's also told them, on the one hand, the glories of the relationship they have with him. Now he's going to say, but while you're here on the planet, though you're friends, though you're sons of God, you're here to bear fruit. Now, also you're going to be persecuted. And so don't be surprised if the world hates you. Don't be surprised if you suffer severe persecution. Now, verse 1, he says, I've told you these things to keep you from stumbling. Don't be surprised. That's amazing because sometimes you hear Christians even say that. Well, I don't understand. How come I don't have my cars? How come I don't have my houses? And where's my husband? Where's my wife? How come this happened to me? Well, he's telling you right here, this shouldn't be a surprise. Verse 2, they will ban you from the synagogues. In fact, a time is coming when anyone who kills you will think he's offering God service. They will do these things because they haven't known the Father or me. But I've told you these things so that when the time comes, you may remember I told you to them. Let me read verse 4 again. But I've told you these things so that when the time comes, you may remember I told them to you. I didn't tell you these things from the beginning because I was here. And that is true. They became very dependent on Jesus. If they had a question, ask Jesus. If they needed food, Jesus would feed them. If they had a crisis, Jesus would solve it. If they was in danger, Jesus would save them. But now he's not going to be here. And so a lot of things he didn't tell them, he said there was no need. I was here. Verse 5, but now I'm going away to him who sent me. And none of you asked me, where are you going? Yet because I've spoken these things to you, sorrow has filled your heart. Now again, they're sensing, hey, this is for real. Jesus is leaving us. Now verse 7, nevertheless, I'm telling you the truth. It is for your benefit that I go away, because if I don't go away, the counselor will not come to you. Excuse me. But if I go, I will send him to you. Now, when Jesus was here, he was limited to space and time. Think about it this way. Those who were in Rome never saw Jesus. Those who were in Africa didn't see Jesus, right? Those in North and South America didn't see Jesus. He was limited to time and space. But he said, it's beneficial that I go, because when I go, then remember the Holy Spirit is going to be within you. It's just not going to be upon you. He's not just going to be with you, but he's going to be within you. Now, verse 8, and when he comes, he will convict the world about sin, righteousness, and judgment. Verse 9, about sin, because they do not believe in me. That's what the Holy Spirit is testifying, by the way. Again, remember, we said the only reason why people go to hell is because they reject Jesus. That's the sin he's referring to. Now, they do other sins because by nature, they are sinner. And so they're rejecting the salvation from the sin nature. So therefore, they continue in their sin. But the sin, the one that is going to condemn them, is that they do not believe in Jesus. He says about righteousness, because I am going to the Father, and you will no longer see me. Now, again, the Holy Spirit is going to be within them. Why? Because Jesus is leaving. Okay? Then he says, verse 11, and about judgment, because the ruler of this world has been judged. Now, he's not going to give us much details about this. We'll later see in other scriptures the judgment of the prince of the world, who is Satan. Verse 12, I still have many things to tell you, but you can't bear them now. Now, at this point here, they can't bear them. But verse 13, but when the Spirit of truth comes. So we see two different relationships or purposes of the Holy Spirit coming into the world. But notice he says, when the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all truth. Now, that's the first thing the Holy Spirit will do. He's always going to guide us into all truth. Now, later we're going to know what truth is. He said the Word is truth. And so the Spirit of God is always going to guide us in truth. In other words, he's not going to, it's not the Spirit of God when you have all of these fancy ministries with fancy phrases, winning in life, enjoying your best life, your best destiny, and all that kind of stuff. That's not truth. Think about it. It's not truth. It's not even truth for those who speak it. And the only reason why they have their best life is because people have given to them, they have prospered off of the backs of people. The average person is not living their best life, winning in life, and all that kind of stuff. But the Holy Spirit is always going to guide us. If we're following the Holy Spirit, he is leading us into truth, and the Word is truth. So verse 10, when the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all truth, for he will not speak on his own, but he will speak whatever he hears. He would also declare what is to come. He will glorify me, because he will take from what is mine and declare it to you. Everything that the Father has is mine. That is why I told you that he takes from what is mine and will declare it to you. So we see these signs that we can always follow. We can earmark these signs. If you say it is the Spirit of God, what is the fruit of that? Well, one, he glorifies Jesus. In other words, if you walk away from a minister or anyone who claims to be speaking on God's behalf, and they are the center of attention, you know it's not God. Because the Holy Spirit is going to guide us into all truth. The Holy Spirit is also going to glorify Jesus. These are the signs. So when I walk away from the meeting, if I go, man, that minister, he is really, really number one. That's not the Spirit of God. That's not what God is doing in the earth. So, and there are a lot of, again, false teachers. There are a lot of ministers that are speaking non-truth. I kind of jumped ahead. That statement we're going to see in the 17th chapter, where Jesus is going to declare that the Word is truth. So we know that the Holy Spirit is guiding us in the Word. He's not man's concepts, not man's fancy phrases that don't bear fruit.